Hey everybody, welcome back
Hi.
to another episode of Level Up. We are Kate and Katie from the Private Practice Startup, and we are joined by Sam Chalbowski. And today's question comes from Jessica Joan. Jessica asks us, and we ask Sam, what are the best SEO tips for your private practice? But before we get started answering that question,
Yes, that is a really good question. I look forward to hearing what Sam has to say. We are on episode 18 of Level Up. Woo! So fun with this series. And we want to thank TherapyNotes for sponsoring this series. They are amazing. And to check out their platform, you can experience 2 months for free with the code PPS. You guys will see the link for that in the resources section here in the chat. So definitely check them out. Let's dive into today's topic. Tell us about the greatest SEO tips for therapists.
Yeah, so greatest SEO tips, I have 3. And the first one is something that I think often gets overlooked and something that people may not know affects their SEO. And so that number 1 tip is going to be, it's all going to be about content. Specifically content when you are looking, a really nice homepage is great, a really nice about page is great. That's going to help you connect with your ideal client. But what's going to really help you connect with the search engines and what's going to help you get found online is content about the specific services you offer. So when you are creating the pages for your website, it's a good idea to, the possible services that you offer, it's a good idea to put an individual page for each and every one of the individual services that you offer on your website, because that's going to really sort of open up the number of pages you can write search engine optimization for. So let's say, you have one services page and it just provides a list of all of the different kinds of issues you see and all of the kind of different people you help. Well, when a web developer or, if you're writing your search engine optimization on your own, you're only going to have one page to write what are called titles and descriptions for that. So what a title and description is, a title, as you can probably guess, is the title of the page that gives a very broad overview. Think about the title of a book. And the description is, maybe like a, summary of the book. And each has character limits. So for a title, I think it's 142. For a description, I think it's around 180 is what Google prefers at the moment. That does change sometimes.
as always, Google's always changing things.
As always, every couple months something changes, and it's important to stay on top of that. But so if you're writing just, if you have just one page, you're limited to, about those 300 characters that you can use to, communicate the page to Google. Now, if you're creating multiple pages for each and every individual of the, let's say, 10 services you're writing, you open that up. You give a lot more space to accurately describe each and every individual service you offer, and have online rankings for each and every individual one of those services online. So it's going to be really important, just to enable better search engine traction. So that's tip number 1 I have.
So I'm so glad you said that, Sam, because that is a therapist mistake I see make. One more time, a mistake I see most therapists do make. So having those clear specialty pages and assure that you have one page for each. I can't see how time and time again I see one page, individual counseling, family counseling, couples counseling. No, don't do that.
And nobody's typing in individual counseling into the search engine anyways. Nope. People are typing in anxiety counseling.
Help with my teenager.
Yes, parenting coaching or whatever they're typing in, addiction counseling, they're typing that stuff in. So that's a great tip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then something else, with content too, we encourage people to, write, and what I think is a really good advice is write to answer your potential client's question. Don't use these really sort of, clinical terms that they may not understand yet. While they may be important in their overall treatment, write to answer their question, write how you can help with, couples issues or ADHD or anxiety, write how you can help with that. And that's also going to help you. So tip number 2 is, doesn't have a lot to it, but it's basically making sure and kind of bouncing off tip 1 that make sure that you are writing titles and descriptions for your website. If you're doing this on your own, or you're going through something like WordPress, and I know they also have plugins for a number of the different website builders like Wix and Weebly and Squarespace. Really recommend Yoast SEO. What Yoast does, it is a plugin. It's something you can add into your website, and then you can install it into your website, and it's going to help you write the SEO. It's going to give you guidelines for what Google is looking for in the titles and descriptions. So make sure you write those. You can look up guides, but Yoast, if you're on WordPress or one of the other website builders that allows for it, is a really, really great thing to add to your site to guide you in that search engine optimization writing process.
Yoast is a really friendly plugin to use because it actually uses like a stoplight colors to tell you when you get to green. The green is the goal. You want to get to green with your search engine optimization on your page. And it will actually tell you what is wrong, what you can do to fix it. And then you can go from red to orangish yellow to green. So it is a really helpful plugin for that.
Yeah, that's spot on. And it's something that, I've found, even just, making websites outside of Brighter Vision is really helpful to be able to, create things. So tip number 3 is going to be keep your site updated. So that's going to include some big things. So number 1, you want to make sure your site is secure. Google will rank sites less favorably that aren't secure. They don't have what's called an SSL certificate. Long story short, without getting too technical, that's just that little green lock that you might see when you're on a website that says that it's a secure site. So that's important. Also important for your website to be mobile responsive so that people can view it on phones, because if it's not, well, Google's also going to ding you for that. And then number 3 is just keep it updated with content. That can include things like, adding new pages, or one of our favorite tips is, keep blogging. Blog as much as you have bandwidth for. Even if it's just once a month, that blog can go a long way to showing Google that, your website's being updated, that you are, operating and running this business, providing a lot of great resources to people. So tip number 3, keep your site updated. That's going to be a big one too, not only for your SEO, but just for, the website's long-term effectiveness.
So when we're looking at websites and we're looking at who we're speaking to, we're kind of speaking 2 languages, because we're speaking to our ideal clients and who we want to attract, right? And then we're also speaking to Google and wanting to get Googlicious, wanting to get Google to absolutely love us. And we do that through the search engine optimization. And that's why it's so important to really either get training and really understand how to do your SEO well, or outsource that to someone who's an expert who can do it for you. Because
that's my fave.
It is so important, and it takes a while for search engine optimization to start working. Katie and I, in our private practice marketing e-course, love when we get to the websites module. It's a big module, and search engine optimization is a little piece in that. And we also know that therapists a lot of times struggle with, what do I put on my website? How do I speak to my ideal clients? What do I say? And we have so many scripts and formulas, and we do website reviews, and we often are catching a lot of the mistakes that you were talking about earlier, Sam, with some of the things that therapists fall into, those traps that are really working against them with the search engine optimization.
And one of the things for me, like, I do love to outsource anything tech and SEO. That's bye-bye, get it off my plate. I don't want to be an expert. It's not my area of expertise. And one of the things about SEO is you sometimes have to know the words that people are searching. Not sometimes, you do.
You do. And it's essential.
It is essential. And if you don't know, or you're using words that they aren't searching, and again, that's like not a match for Google and not a match for people to get on your website.
Yes.
So like Kate said, either, take a deep dive into SEO. I know we have a bunch of free podcasts on SEO, but, or not, then work with a company like Brighter Vision, who will not only do your website, but also help you guys with your SEO.
Yes. And if you're looking for more help with marketing, definitely check out our private practice marketing e-course and coaching program. We'll put the link for that for you guys to check out as well.
So thanks again, Jessica Joan, for your question. We want to thank Sam Chabowski from Brighter Vision to be the expert answering that question. And if you guys have a burning question, look for our Tuesday post called Ask Us and push your question there. We will be sure to answer it, and perhaps it'll be on one of our Level Up videos. So Start Nation, have an awesome and inspired day. Take care, everybody.